I love how this starts. Watch this. Psalms 116:1. I love the Lord. It's a good start anyhow. I love the Lord because He's heard my voice and my supplications, because He has inclined His ear to me. Therefore I will call upon Him as long as I live. The psalmist says, I love Him because when I talk, He listens. This is a powerful introduction to what is going to be a very powerful song. I love God not because He's good to me, or not because He's worthy of my praise. I love it that when I talk, He listens. And He doesn't just listen, He replies, He responds. So the psalmist is setting you up for this understanding, I believe. The understanding that the ear of God and the response mechanism of God is directly linked to the tongue of man. God's ear and His action linked to the speech of His children. That shouldn't be a shocker. We're linked to the voice of our children. We learn their voice over every other kid in the neighborhood. We take them to the playground, they yell daddy, there's 50 daddies. They yell mom, there's 1,000 moms, and yet you know the one that's yours. Why? Because you're linked. There's something inside of you that belongs. They belong there. They're a piece of your heart that is running around out there on the monkey bars. And when they scream mommy, even though there's 1,000 mommies, you know exactly which mommy they're looking for, and they're not looking for a different one. And your response is directly linked to the sound of their voice. And so the psalmist just admits it and says, you know what I love about God? When I say something, He listens. And He doesn't just listen, He moves, and He does something on my behalf. This really flips the power dynamic a little bit of the way we've thought about God. Because according to the psalmist in 116, all I have to do is raise my voice and God gets up and comes into the room and says, what are you looking for? I yell and God says, what? I cry and God takes a step towards me. He says, I love God for that. I love it that when I'm in distress and I'm in trouble, He's there for me. So I want to link what the psalmist linked first. We're just copying. I don't do anything original. If I say it, I just swiped it out of here. So I didn't write any of this stuff. What he says is, God's ear is linked to my voice. God's response is linked to what I say. It doesn't mean if I say to somebody, I wish you were dead, God reaches down and kills them. What kind of a world would we live in? The correct answer is, none of us would. Because somebody would have already sent you to hell. Am I right? Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, most of us go, yeah, pretty much. Yeah, that guy I cut off in traffic a while ago, he already sent me there, right? So, mouth linked to His ear. I love the Lord. Because He heard my voice and my supplication, He inclined His ear. I love that phrase. He inclined His ear. I'm inclined. I'm bent towards. I'm sort of inclined. See, I got two of my own. I'm inclined to move for them to a far greater degree than I am inclined to move for yours. I don't have any disrespect for your children, but my ear is not inclined to your children. My ear is inclined to my children. So there's a personal effect that happens in this moment where God's ear is inclined towards me. Therefore, I'll call upon Him as long as I live. Why? If you see a therefore, you need to know what it's there for. It's always a good Bible study trick. So I love the Lord because He heard my voice and my supplications. He inclined His ear to me. Therefore, because of this information, I'm always going to call upon Him. Why would I always call upon Him? Because He always listens. That's easy, right? I mean, I always call out to Daddy because Dad always does something about it. So what I've learned is as long as I'm breathing, I'm going to be talking about what I know about my Father. Because what my Father knows about me is that I need His help. And so I love Him because the Father's always there for me. The pains of death, verse 3, the pains of death surrounded me. The pangs of Sheol laid hold of me. Some of your translations might even say hell, because the English word translated out of the old Hebrew word for Sheol was hell. We took that, we filtered it through hundreds of years of understanding and a lot of good British literature. of understanding what hell looked like, and we lost a little bit of the effect of what the author was trying to say, because when we read this, we think afterlife. Every time we read something about hell, we go, afterlife. The author's not dead yet. So why in the world is he talking about the afterlife? He didn't go to a physical hell, but hell came to him. So one of the encounters that I'm making over and over and over again as I go share the good news is I'm encountering people where hell has come to them. Chaos and hell have met their doorstep. And I get questions in Q&A about what I think about hell. And my response has become more and more this. You don't really need to care what I think about what hell is or where it is or what it is or if it is on the other side of death, because I can't do a whole lot about that for you. But I might be able to give you some tips on the hell that you're going through now. And I very much believe in that one. Do you believe in hell? Absolutely. I've been there a time or two. Chaos? Trouble? Hell? Yep, seen it. Know how to get myself into it. Anybody else? Yeah. I mean, I've got some ways. If you need some tips on finding out if there's a hell, come see me. I can get you there before the night's out. You might stay a long time. And you may never fully recover. But I can get you there. That's not very hard to do. Oh, yeah, I believe in it. And so when we're looking at this text, please start to think of it in this respect. And I didn't intend to slow down right here. We were supposed to speed through this. So this is for someone, I hope. This might be that fertile soil crying out. Okay?